It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Congressman Guy Reschenthaler is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, increasing the standard deduction for hard-working Americans, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Guy Reschenthaler at 202-225-2065 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Jackson's Restaurant in Monaca has launched a new seasonal menu showcasing the best of autumn's harvest with fresh, locally sourced ingredients and inspired comfort food creations from a talented culinary team. Known for its upscale, casual atmosphere, Jackson's brings a cozy yet elevated twist to classic fall favorites like crab cake, meatloaf, truffle sage ravioli, English-style sea bass, and pasta with sautéed shrimp, crab, and a lobster cream sauce. To make reservations and discover the full menu, visit jacksonsbeavervalley.com or Jackson's Beaver on Instagram and Facebook.
Put freedom in your future. Freedom United Federal Credit Union in Rochester. You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls. Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romai to introduce today's program.
I'm not Mike Romai, I'm Frank Sparks, in for Mike Romai once again. And this is the Best of Beaver County, and this week, we got a treat for you this week. We're going to be talking with a pair. It's a father and daughter, and they own A1 Best Quality Painting, LLC, which is a commercial painting and industrial painting service. And first off, let's say good morning to Whitney Russell. Good morning. Thank you for coming in this morning. Let me help if I turn you on there. All right, there you go.
Good morning. Thank you for having us this morning.
I appreciate you guys coming in and telling us a little bit about A1 Best Quality Painting. And then your dad, who was started this business. What year did you start the business, Brian Sarich?
No, that's Sarich.
Sarich, okay.
Yes, I started that in about 1985, right before my daughter was born.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So tell us a little bit. You want to tell us, Whitney? Tell us a little bit about A1 Best Quality Painting.
Well, my father actually probably should be the one to talk. He started the business right before I was born, and he started out working residential doing homes. And in the past, say, 8 years, we got into commercial and industrial painting.
I started the business back at probably about 85. First wife was pregnant at the time, and jobs were hard to come by then. I kind of just got out of the Marine Corps and that, and kind of went there then because you couldn't find a job pumping gas or anything. So, well, by the time I got out, I tried to go to school, college a little bit, and then my first wife got pregnant. So, anyway, had to do something and get a job and so forth. But so my uncle worked in a mill at Clarendon and for U.S. Steel, and he said, look, I'll help you out, pay for a wedding, and you can help me in painting. I said, well, that's interesting. I'll come and I'll give you a hand and I'll help you out. Well, I was always ambitious. I've been a hustler my whole life, from raking leaves, washing cars and everything else, and shoveling snow when I was younger, and always had money in my pocket. So I've been hustling since I was a child. But anyway, I went and worked with my uncle, and that paid for a nice hunky wedding at a fire hall, and we had a great time, and 110 people. So I went out on my own, and we did a lot of residential for years, met a lot of good people, and then some maybe not so good, but you deal with it, and you just keep smiling, and you just got to keep a good personality. And so as years went on, I developed more vehicles, good employees. Work is, if you don't have good employees, you don't have a good business. And I always thought that, and still do to this day, you pay your people well, and they'll treat you well and give you good work. And that seems to stand. But so over the years, we did a lot of residential. Then we moved up to commercial, and now we do industrial and gas and well. We've met a lot of good folks in gas and well over the years. A lot of good people out there, and some of the best work that we do on gas and wells, but industrial as well, buildings. We take on a lot of large projects, projects out there.
Was there something that, like, when you first started painting, was there something that, like, struck in your head that said, I want to start a business doing this at that point, or was it just something you ended up navigating towards?
Well, I thought, I seen how my uncle was handling it. You made money, and I'm thinking, well, that's a pretty good way to make money, and it's something I'd be interested in. And, you know, as I run through the residential for many years, I thought, well, you know, I've been doing this for years. Now, what does somebody need out there that I can apply my services to? So then that's when gas and well come in, probably about 18 years ago or so. Then I started reaching out to people, somebody like Range Resource, a good company, that actually give us a start in a good manner by Rob Streams, happened to actually give us our start, and God bless him, he's a good man. So that gave us a help of starting a gas and well. And like I said, for years, we put together some good crews. A lot of good people that I had work for me over the years are dead, and but now we still have developed good relationships and good people we brought in.
Okay.
But it kept us busy, and it don't matter what jobs, no job's too big or too small.
So you're talking about painting in the gas industry. What's some of the types of things you painted? I mean, was it like wells or?
Well, we would come out, we would do well heads, tanks, you name it, sandblast to applying all epoxies, paints, and a lot of work. It consists of a lot of work, taping, masking, and obviously safety is very important when you're out there. That's the main thing when you're dealing with something like that. And like CNX, we've done for many years, probably Range, good 9 years, CNX, probably a good 8-9 years. MPLX, we still work a lot with them through Bluestone, do a lot of their things out there. A lot of good people there as well at Bluestone and MPLX, and they're really great people through there we worked with, like Melanie, a few others through there that we have good relationships with.
So what sets A1 apart from others? I mean, you're 41 years and successful.
Correct.
What sets you apart from everybody else?
I think that the fact that we're a small family-run business,
Okay.
but we take on large projects as well as small. We work together. I don't know if anybody works with family. That can really be could be wonderful, and it can also be really tough sometimes. But working with my father, I love it. I enjoy it. We work together.
I love the fact that I grew up a hunky. I love it. I love it. I went to, you don't hear that too often because I myself, I went to hunky church,
Yeah.
So, and to hear that, I'm like, I haven't heard that term in years.
Well,
so that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, them's the best type of weddings, right?
Yeah,
You know,
right,
it's
exactly.
a lot of leftovers at the end,
Lots
right?
of good eating. No doubt about it. So, Whitney, what got you involved in the business?
What got me involved in the business? Well, about 8 years ago, before I had my second daughter, I was working in sales, and I just kind of felt burnout at the time, and we were expanding with our business, and I just decided I would help my dad full time.
Okay.
So I've done that, and I enjoy it. There's a lot of freedom with my job.
She's actually worked with me over 15, 16 years, and then I just put give her the business about 7.5, 8 years ago. 7 years, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So what's you want to carry on the tradition for years to come? You've been doing it for 7 odd years, so what's your plans moving forward?
I think just to continue doing what we're doing, and I'd like to see us grow even further.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good thing. My father has really built a wonderful business, and it's wonderful to see what he's done. And I have 3 kids, and maybe someday that one of them will run the business.
That's awesome. So when you got this all started and got going here, you started out painting houses. Was there any that stick out in your mind? Any famous houses or anything that you guys painted along the way?
Well, we've done plenty Victorian homes. I can design colors for people with multi colors. We've done. God, I tell you, maybe my memory's a little short right now, but in 40-some years, you name it, we've been there. Thing about our business at this point is we will go through West Virginia, Ohio, all through PA, and we'll go further. If the work's there, I basically oversee, my daughter owns a business, but to make sure people are doing what they got to do and getting the work done. But it don't matter. We'll go after whatever and travel wherever. But yeah, we designed a lot of Victorian homes and bigger jobs over the years for sure.
So, and then you said you transitioned into commercial painting, and now you're even in industrial painting. So, what's the difference between doing residential and maybe commercial and industrial?
Well, the difference is, you're dealing directly with one person, and maybe an established residence, like in a neighborhood or something where you got to worry about a little bit of overspray, maybe here or there. When you're doing more commercial, you're working maybe around a lot of people, more exposure to, things that could happen.
Larger scale.
And you might have to deal with several people. But it is definitely a larger scale of the work that's being done. So we challenge ourselves every day and to try to get the bigger job and get out there and do our best work. But the guys take pride in work from start to finish. And that's the thing about our guys. We have some middle-aged, older, but these guys come out and they put out every day, and they're very respectful, but they take pride in their work. That's a big thing, though. When you do work, you want to appreciate what you're doing and take a lot of pride, and these guys really do.
So when it comes, do you still do residential to this day, or you just concentrate on commercial?
Yeah, we still do residential.
Okay.
Yeah, we're humble. I don't walk, like I said, no job's too small or too big.
Sure.
We still advertise through the Trib, big ad that goes in there. We just did recent, the guys went out and did a big horse barn out there. Very huge.
We had a guy call recently for a deck. I mean, there's no job that's really too small.
And then we just did, the guys finished a rubber building, the rubber going on the parkway off to the left. That was huge building outside, and that was 200 by 100 foot like that, every bit of it. And the whole outside got done, and you're working around a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
And then the Ross Draver Airport, the guys just finished maybe about a month or so ago. But we take, like I said, pride in everything we do, and you got to evaluate each job, find out your risk and everything, and then some of these bigger jobs, you got to have the safety meetings in the morning and maybe a productivity of what you plan on getting done for the day, because rather than just walking and blinded.
So when you first got into painting, did you ever envision the business being what it is today?
Well, when I started running ladders on a Monte Carlo back in the day, because I had and that's a true fact. I would have 20-some footers or whatever on top of a Monte Carlo tied down, and hoping the heck I got where I was going to, know. But yeah, no, I never envisioned too much, but that's one thing here where you don't know where business goes. But to date, I'm satisfied with, I think, over the years of what we've created and what has been done, and a lot of pride on the work that we did. Okay. And I'm sure a lot of people will vouch for that as well.
Absolutely.
And companies as well.
All right, so where is the home base for A1?
We're out of Cannonsburg.
Out of Cannonsburg, okay. Mm-hmm. And how many crews do you currently have working for you?
Oh, we have several. We have over 20, 25 employees at any given time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's cool. So how do you, you're talking about doing the airport, talking about doing these big buildings, and you mentioned about cars. Mm-hmm. So how do you keep from maybe an overspray getting on cars? Because obviously you wouldn't want me painting for you, trust me.
Well,
you have to be really careful.
You got to be real careful. You got to look at your conditions and evaluate everything around you. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of the vehicles over the years you got some overspray here or there, and it may happen. You just don't know, but you got to evaluate your situation, the wind and so forth. And every job, like I said, calls for a different circumstance where your surroundings are, so you got to take a good look at it.
Pay attention.
Surprisingly, that paint can travel a long, long way. And I like the people that do the road paint. I don't think they really care a lot of times where that goes, because I've had a yellow up under my wheel wells and, getting stuff on your windshield. And, that's just throwing it on, and you can't go back after the state on that.
You got to be very meticulous.
Yeah.
Very meticulous. We hire painters that really pay attention to detail, and they're very skilled at what they do.
That's awesome. So you mentioned the Ross Draver Airport. What are some of the other bigger businesses, commercial-wise, that you guys have
We've
painted?
done country clubs. We've done
Allegheny Country Club. We were up there last year. We did all their steel structures on the tennis racquetball court that called for.
manufacturing plants.
Yeah, we called that one called for walnut blasting because we were inside, not to rip up any texture on the ceiling. So
We've done floor
just
we
take
do
paint
we
on.
specialize in coatings. We do floor coatings. A lot of people will call and want to make sure that the floor is like anti-skid, so we take care of things like that. We're kind of
We also have a shop
all over.
out in the country where guys will do sandblasting out there. Like they'll do piping. We'll take piping in. We'll if somebody wants to deliver, okay, or we'll have it shipped in, and we'll take it right to the farm and do.
Right.
And we have racks you'll put them on, and we'll do sandblasting of that, and then apply the coatings.
You mentioned walnut blasting. What's that?
Well, it's walnut shell. It's a little.
Okay.
It's a type of sandblasting where you're not being so over aggressive that you have to watch your surroundings and you don't want to damage things like that. To just kind of take some loose paint off and clean it up. You know, and there's different medias, blast medias that you have from black beauty to sand, glass, and so forth. You know, a lot out there.
Whitney, you had mentioned about slip-resistant floors and stuff.
Yes.
How do you? I mean, because aren't those like a rubber coating or some of them or something like that?
Well, it
or-
depends on what the person wants. We've had all kinds of things. There are different types of floorings that we can apply, or epoxies. You can put sand down in with the paint. There's all types of things. It just
we've
depends.
done many plants like that. We'll
Yeah.
come in and we'll do their yellow lines, lining them up. So we're kind of versed different areas.
Really just
and
depends on what they're
different things.
asking for. Yeah.
I've even done patchwork from on the big fans they have on compressor. But I educate myself quick. For something I don't know, I'm going to get to know real quick.
No job too big or too small.
Not big,
There's
not
really
too
not.
small.
No,
Yeah,
there's really
nothing
not.
too big, nothing too small. Not at all.
All right, we are visiting this morning with A1 Best Quality Painting LLC with Whitney and with Brian this morning, talking about their business. And we're going to take a very short break here on the Best of Beaver County, and then we'll be back with more right after this.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
We're back here on the Best of Beaver County. Frank Sparks, and we're visiting this morning along with A1 Best Quality Painting LLC. And we've been talking about the business itself and some of the things they do. Well, let me ask you this, Brian. Is there a difference between the types of paint you would use, like maybe on my house, compared to what you use in a commercial setting?
Yes, sometimes there can be.
Okay.
You want to elaborate that? I mean, depending on if there's an epoxy in it.
Yeah, you can go from regular, just basic latexes, obviously different finishes of anything they have, to epoxy paints, just regular oil, base enamels and that. But again, it depends on what we are doing and what it calls for on any particular job, you know. But the thing is about, like I said before, about traveling and that there. There's times we may have to go away in Ohio, stay away for days and that, which the guys can appreciate that, getting away a little bit. And, we have good camaraderie. We go away and, a few days and kind of bond a little bit too. It's a good thing.
Now, being myself previously in a business that kind of was contracting like what you do, this kind of struck me a little bit. So when you do a job, you actually don't ask them for a down payment or nothing. You just, when you're
He's
done.
old school. That's really something, isn't it?
I've been at this, like I said, into 41, going to 42 years. And yes, when I even started out, look, you depend, back in the day it was a barter system. People worked this and that. They did this for that, right? They didn't exchange money and stuff. But I felt, look, sometimes it may be a contract, a handshake or something like that. You're going to have that agreement. So you got to believe in yourself and maybe who you're working for, that, you get no down payment, because that strides you to get the job done and get it done in a professional manner where you're not doing it half behind, because I tell them, don't pay me until you're satisfied.
Right.
So you push that extra towards yourself to do excellence in order to get that job done. So I felt like that for a long time and still do. Now, some of these bigger jobs, even today, we still don't get money down. So I have to foot payroll. We'll have to foot payroll. And then the material, and then you might have to wait 30, 90 days to get your
60
money.
days, 45 days. It just depends on everybody's payment terms. But yeah, it's an amazing thing that he does. He wanted to do that, and he started doing that. I know even from getting work done on my own house with different things, everybody wants something down up front.
Yeah.
It's very unheard of anymore, but yeah, it's something we're proud of.
Now, do you have contracts with people, or are you old school like that too with a handshake?
Well, contracts, when I go out, and we would look like, a regular residential job. You sign a contract, and, you have that there, and they ask you to maybe, hey, is that something here that's not in the contract? Hey, we got a window over here or something like that. But we don't come out and bone people like that. We'll come out, we'll give them a little extra. We're going to do that. We're not going to charge them more like that. We're going to work with you.
Right.
And then you get maybe a good reference, that leads to one, and that goes to another and another one,
Right.
So we don't, that's how we work. But
All right, and I noticed too, one of the big things you had here was safety is a huge thing for you as well.
Safety is a huge thing. We've been lucky that nobody has had any kind of serious injury or anything resulting or coming from any of the work sites.
yes, the OSHA record that's with our company is impeccable.
We have safety meetings on all of our jobs. Our guys know all the time what's going on. My dad oversees and checks on them to double check that everybody knows what they're doing.
You got to monitor. You got to wear monitors and certain things out there. Obviously, your harness is above 4 foot or higher.
It's something we're proud of, that we really take into consideration everybody's safety when we're out.
Yeah, especially in some of them well pads in different places, because eyes are on you at all times, and you have to know that. And you can't be out there smoking. Obviously, you have to go to the muster point. Yeah, but there's,
You don't want to be here no more. You
Yeah,
can't.
right. But you don't. That's not the
You don't
way
wanna
that
do
works.
that.
So you want to stay in business and stay alive. You got to follow the rules and do what's asked of you, and then you move on and you get many more, much work from the people. So it makes a difference.
As your business progressed over the 41 years, what actually led you into the gas industry and painting wells and things like that? How'd you get involved with that?
Well, one of the things was, and residential's okay to a certain extent. And you start getting a little flustered thinking, well, some people are great and some people are really rough out there. I think there come to a point when the people were so down about something. I don't know if it was somebody in office or this or that, but they just want to take it out on a contractor. I don't know. Some people are just, just
And I think you were
miserable.
looking for bigger things at the time too.
Well, yeah, so I started looking. I said, well, I want to change this. And I said to myself, well, what's new out there? What can I do in order to change this? So I seen the gas and oil industry come in. And, yeah, that changed around a pretty good bit for us here.
Yeah, very much.
That changed around. So it's one thing you have to kind of read the room a little bit, see what's going on around you, what's the end, maybe what's around you, what you can do that's new out there that maybe you can get involved with that has any aspect of painting. Now, like a recent one, we're starting to bid with the Rocky Blyer Company, which is a pretty darn good company, very good company.
Yeah.
I think we all
How do
know
you
that
thought
name
of?
a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, the Rock, yeah, for sure. So I don't know. We just started putting bids in with these folks, and well, we know they're very good people, and some good folks I know that are working there as well.
Well, as you continue to progress, where do you see the business going in the future, especially with you running things, Whitney?
I just see growth. I see opportunity. I am so fortunate that I watched my dad. He's never stopped. He's worked 2 jobs since I've been alive. He's always worked and provided, and just the work ethic that he's taught me. We'll keep going until we can't go anymore.
You could tell that just by the short time that I've met you that you're a hustler. I mean, I could tell right now.
You'll never meet anybody that hustles
When
like
the
my
day gone
father.
by with that snow coming down outside, these young kids would have thought about sled riding. I thought about money.
Yeah.
I had money. I must have had $100-some in my pocket when I was like 11, 12 years old, and I'd be out shoveling snow. And
You'll never find somebody like that.
Raking leaves and that. But I had worked at U.S. Steel for 28 and a half years as well, and but I always had the business with this and had crews I would bid them, or when I wasn't working, I'd be on the job or out there with the guys who were putting the bids in and then so forth to put them on the jobs. And I would go after midnight and you name it or whatever and go out on the jobs and that. Yeah,
Wow,
for
All
sure.
right. So what's your role today now? Now that Whitney does a lot of the work, what's your role within the company at this point?
We have some good people hands-on, and they pretty much get it done. If there's issues, I'll oversee. I come out, I'll oversee what's going on, and they run into a glitch, something happens like that I'll make sure that we're successful.
He's calling me. Let's be honest. He's calling me all day long, making sure things are getting done.
That's the problem with business because, hey, did you get this done? Did you get that done?
All day
And that's
long.
the trouble with having family business. But
It's a joy, but
listen, at the
my
end of
phone
the
rings
day-
nonstop. We're always talking.
There's times we get mad at each other.
Yes.
But, that's the trouble with having business. We kind of lock, butts a lot of times like that. But you got to watch. Because that one thing that you don't do might cost you a big job. So I'm always looking and trying to go after people and trying to make phone calls, like that, always on the phone, trying to hustle work, trying to get it the best we can. Now, you got to watch you don't get too aggressive with folks out there because some people will take you as too aggressive, and then that'll take you out of a contract. But sometimes you don't know how to approach people. Some people will bring you along, and then they just cut you right off, like for no reason, and you can't figure it. But that's business, and you just have to move on to the next.
You've seen a lot in 41 years, huh? You've seen a lot of things.
Oh, I've seen plenty. 41 years. I've had my dad. My dad worked with me for a long time, and
Your brothers.
my brothers, yeah, and my dad when he was out there. My dad, Herman, yeah, God bless him, he's still here, but 84 years old. Hair down to his shoulders. He needs a haircut, but I told him that. I told him that many times, and thank God my mom's still here. But
awesome.
we've seen a lot over the years and met a lot of good people. And like I said, there were some bad, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing. What we done.
And obviously, you have a lot of trust in your daughter to continue your vision along as you started out.
And the crews as well. That's correct, because they got to go out. They got to do the work. They got to do the work. Somebody got to get the work done. And if they don't get the work done, then, hey, we're not going to get paid.
Right.
Okay.
So it's the idea you got to pay the bills and you got to take care of that. Not like anything, insurance is going up every time you turn around. And, it costs money to run a business. And I don't know, sometimes the saying is it takes money to make money. Well, you sure as heck better have some money put away for payroll and all this other stuff, like you got to fuel vehicles and if you go away, obviously you got to take care of the men and do what you got to do. But
Lots of overhead.
there's so much
There's a lot of
overhead with
overhead.
business, and there's overhead on top of overhead. There's so many bottom
Unforeseen.
feeders
Yeah, there's
on this
unforeseen.
because you have certain things like the ISN, and then you have bottom feeders on top of them that you got to keep putting money out to. Then you got to have drug testing for the people and all this, and just a lot of things like that. There's a lot going on there.
All right. Well, if anybody would like to get some information about A1 Best Quality Painting, how can they do that?
We have a website, A1 Best Quality Painting. We also have a
LLC.
Of course, LLC. We also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And you can also call us. I don't know if I can give the number on air.
Yeah,
but,
go for it.
Okay, 724-797-3350. And you can talk to Brian, my dad. He's a character in case nobody's witnessed this.
It's me here. You call, I'll be glad to talk to you, anybody, any time of day. I actually, believe this or not, I had a guy call my phone here last week, and I went to answer it. It was 12:30 at night. I don't know, this fellow was from New York. He's looking for a job. I said, first off, I said, do you know what time of the night it is? 12:30 at night. He's ringing my phone going, I
No, but you
stumbled
had a
over-
good one recently. Somebody called you about painting what? What was it? Remember, it was a bird cage.
A bird cage. All right.
Well, we get a lot of weird stuff, but who in the heck calls somebody 12:30 at night to ask about a job? I'm like, we're not all-night painters here. But I'll be glad to talk to anybody. I have no trouble with that. And, God, I mean, hey, maybe here or there, too, we might be able to use a good painter, too.
Sure, absolutely.
If somebody feels that they can provide a decent resume.
I was going to ask you, did you hire the guy? He called you 12:30 at night.
I didn't hear back from that guy. I told him, "Can you call it a better reasonable time
hour,
here?"
right.
Which would have been good. But that's a true story. I mean, I wouldn't have called somebody 12:30 at night for a job, you know.
Yeah, my phone rings at 12:30 at night. It better be something important.
It's usually him calling me at 12:30 at night to discuss business.
I leave mine on for my mother and dad. They're older and they both live by themselves. And I try to get them moved back in together, but they're not seeing that. But that would save 6 kids in a family, so that would help all of us. But very stubborn, both of them.
It has been, throw the phone number out there again and the website so people
Sure,
can get
A1 Best
information.
Quality Painting LLC. And you can call my dad, Brian, 724-797-3350.
And we have a beautiful webpage that was set up.
We have a beautiful webpage.
We've been getting hit with a lot of spam lately. I'm not sure what a lot of stuff going on there, but
yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Is there
with
like
that.
pictures and stuff of jobs?
There's
you guys have
pictures
done on
of
there?
jobs.
Names you can't even pronounce. And the numbers I've called one that hit me here 2 weeks ago. I'm waiting on the phone and somebody didn't speak in English, and the baby screaming in the background. And I said, I speak English. And she couldn't speak in English. She said, hold on, the baby's crying. She went next door, got the neighbor, and the neighbor said, I speak English. She said, they don't speak English. I said, they want to know who you look for. I said, Wesley. He hit her page. He wanted to dust her painting. She said, well, Wesley's 16 years old. He's at school. Said, you'll have to wait till he gets out of school. I said, well, that's nice. We've been getting a lot of that.
It keeps it
Can't figure
interesting.
that.
We get a good laugh out of it. It's fun.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. So, well, it's a pleasure meeting you both, and
Same here.
appreciate you
Likewise.
both coming in. And you can listen to the show again on Sunday at 11:30 here on Beaver County Radio, and then it'll be on at noon Saturday on our sister station WJS. So tune in for that. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And Frank, you're welcome. Again, reach out, A1 Best Quality Painting, LLC, and hey, appreciate it.
You just want to hang out for next half? You can just I'll give you the mic. You can do. I mean, he's rolling, man. He can just do a talk show for
He's
the next
made
half
for
hour.
radio.
Oh,
He's a
I
character.
can go on for hours. Yeah, I can go on for a long time.
All right, Noah Haswell's coming up with news next year on Beaver County Radio.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County. St. Barnabas is pleased to have provided content and sponsorship for the program. Tune in this Sunday at 11:30 for an encore presentation